Good day, good day, good day. How's it going? This video is a requested video, and it is about what ASMR sounds that I enjoyed as a child, which I didn't even know anything about ASMR. So let's get started. One thing that I liked, anything to do with my hair. Like, I don't have my brush today, but if my mom brushed my hair, when she used to wash my hair, and my sister would braid my hair, anything to do with my hair, I just love it. I just love the feel, love the sound. I just love the sound of hair, even to this day. I just love it. It's awesome. See? And even to this day, whenever I go and get my hair trimmed, I have to be careful because I'll fall asleep. I will fall asleep. You know, even with her just trimming my hair and then giving me a few layers and everything, I'll be like, because whenever my mom used to do anything with my hair, it would make me sleepy. Very sleepy. So another one was my pencil bag. I liked anything tapping. I used to love, oh my goodness, I know it's going to sound weird. Remember when people, when they were waiting on someone and they were going, it was mainly women that they showed doing that, like they were waiting on the guy and they were taking too long and their hands were just on the table going, like, come on, come on. I used to love that. Whenever I was growing up, I would do that, but I would do it slow and then faster. One thing also that I really enjoyed was one of my friends had horses, and the way that they gallop, like, the way that they gallop and just the sound of that, I loved that. Oh my goodness, I loved that. I know some of my ASMR things are kind of weird, but everybody has different little triggers. Everybody likes different things, but my pencil bag. I liked scratching too, but the main thing I liked, because I had pencils, erasers, and everything in here, was the sound of my pencils in here. I loved the zipper. The zipper sound I loved. And sometimes in class, I would open up my pencil bag and just go, until my teacher says, hurry up and get a pencil out and stop. I just love the sound. Sometimes I would also take 2 pencils out and create that sound. I don't know why. I don't understand why some things I like in ASMR and some things I just don't. It's just, I guess it just has something to do with how I'm processing it. It's just odd. But anything to do with pencils, like the guys in class, like even in my band class and stuff, they would be using this because some of the drummers would be like practicing on the table in the classroom. I loved that. And then go, oh my God, I loved that. I loved it. That was just so awesome. But yeah, pencils in my pencil bag. I loved it. And the scratching was good too. I also had an experience to where I was in the office waiting for something, not in the principal's office, just in the regular school office. I was waiting to pick up something, and one of my friends saw me, and we had like a glass window there you could see in, and they tapped on the glass. They went to get my attention, and then I turned around and they're like, I loved the sound. That is what got me triggered on some of the glass sounds. I loved. Yeah, and all it took was like that. Hey. Hi. That's all it took. Just, that's it. That's it. And it got me hooked. Isn't it just so weird? And just because I like this doesn't mean everybody likes it. Everybody has their own little triggers, everything. I also really loved when we went out to eat. Oh my goodness. I just loved the whole restaurant atmosphere of the clanking of the dishes, the clanking of the silverware, people talking like pew, 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 pew. Sometimes you couldn't really make out what they're saying, but it was just that speaking in the background and the dishes and them cooking, all the cooking sounds and people eating. It was magical for me when I went to a restaurant. It was magical, and I still love it. I still love it to this day. We don't go out and eat much, but when we do, I'm just soaking it all in. Just soaking it all in. It's awesome. Another thing that I enjoyed was writing. Whenever I was growing up, English and writing, they were my favorite classes. Favorite classes. If I had to write an essay, that was my jam. That was my jam. Like learning the spelling words, yes, I loved it. Whenever they said, read this book and write a book report, oh my gosh, that was awesome because I would read the book. I'm a very fast reader, and then I would write a report about it. And I loved it. I loved it. But writing. And then whenever we were younger, when we were learning how to write cursive, and the way that you had to do it, because you had the book with the big lines, and then you had to draw each and every one, and you couldn't pick up your pencil and stuff. I loved it. I love writing. Erasing. this, making the holes. I loved the sound it made. Now it's going to get stuck. This one isn't the greatest. There we go. I used to love the sound of that. Just how it does. I used to love that. And anything to do with paper. Anything to do with paper. I loved that as well. Scissors. I used to love cutting things. I used to just love the sound of it. I just loved it. I love making crafts and stuff at school. I love that. The last, I have more, but I just didn't bring some of the stuff like water sounds and everything. Like we used to go to like the lake a lot whenever we were growing up. Oh, I just loved the sound of the water coming up onto the shore and everything, and the lake water just moving around. It was awesome. And the splashing and people laughing and having fun and just that whole thing, the whole summer thing. Crayons. I know this is a smaller pack of crayons, but my mom got me the big, gigantic box of crayons, and it had a sharpener in the back. That was the best present for me ever. Ever. I remember getting that big box of crayons and just looking at it, rubbing my hands all over the box, opening it, and seeing all the different colors. And this, you just opened it up, you could see all the colors at once. I used to run my hands across the top. I loved that sound. And then just pulling a crayon out and coloring. Put the crayon back in. I even loved the smell, and I still to this day love the smell of crayons. They just smell like childhood to me. I used to love coloring in coloring books. I used to love drawing. Sometimes I would get like 2 or 3 crayons at once. And of course I Always have to rub them together. But I would take them like that. It's almost like if you ever had, like, I think it was called like a spirograph, to where it was a plastic thing and it would make swirls and designs. You just put your like little pencil or pen in like this plastic thing with these holes, and it would make different designs and everything. I also had one to where you took the crayon or marker or pen and it was suspended in air, and then you put your book and stuff up underneath and you pushed it and it would make designs like that. That was awesome. I loved anything to do with any type of art. Art class, I loved art class. Painting, anything. I loved that. I remember the teachers used to say, stay within the lines. Don't get out of the lines. That was hard to do as a child. My masterpiece. Another thing that I loved, I forgot to show you, was whenever the teacher would write on, well, a chalkboard, but I don't have a chalkboard, but they would like write their name or whatever. I'm just making up a name. Be like, this is my name, and they would just be writing. Just to hear that chalk on the board. And then I super loved taking it off. I used to love volunteering to clean the chalkboard. I love that sound, even to this day. I just thought I would share that with you, the extra little tip. That was all my ASMR triggers that I used to like as a child growing up. And like I told you earlier, I didn't know anything about ASMR. I didn't even know what it was, that it even existed. I don't think it existed at the time. And then I stumbled upon ASMR on YouTube. Oh gosh, probably about 6 years ago. Just 6 years ago. I'm still a baby in ASMR. And I was listening to a few people because I heard someone say something about, oh, ASMR. And I went, what's ASMR? Is that something bad? Should I not be looking at this? So then I got on my phone. I thought I was being sneaky and stuff. And I went, ASMR. And I put it in. And all these videos came up of all these different creators. And I went, what is this? And so I started tapping on them. I was like, oh my goodness, this is pretty cool. And these people were giving me like tinglies. I was just like, and they were making me like fall asleep and getting me tired and relaxing me. And I was just going, this is awesome. Sometimes I still listen to them, but not as much because I'm so busy trying to create my own channel. Trying to be me in ASMR and trying to make you happy. I'm glad that I stumbled up on ASMR. It's awesome. I love it. I loved sounds to begin with. So it doesn't matter. But here's your butterfly hearts. I have to make them smaller so they stay within the, the frame. I'm like going, making them huge. Today is Tuesday. You're going to be seeing this video on Thursday. And I hope I answered your questions and everything with your request. And I hope you enjoy it. And thank you for sharing yours about your hair brushing and everything. I know that's an awesome feeling. But have a wonderful day. I love you. Stay safe, drink plenty of water.